It's day 5, the final day of pool action in the Hero Hockey Junior World Cup 2013, and we are in Pool A, where Germany are going to take on Egypt at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. And it's a game that we are expecting Germany to possibly win, and if they do that, then they could conceivably just book their place in the quarterfinals. But it's still wide open, this pool. Belgium in pole position with 6 points, but they play Pakistan next, who also have 3 points. So that could still lead to a very, very interesting situation in this particular pool. Egypt thus far yet to open their account, and this will be a daunting task against the 5 times champions Germany, and also the defending champions, coming out in distinctive black jerseys towards the right of screen at the moment, and Egypt in white. Gave a good account of themselves in the first match, lost 2-3 to Pakistan after fighting back well and taking the game to 2-all at one stage. And unfortunately were outclassed 5-0 in their second match by Belgium. Even in that game, they had their moments. In fact, held the Belgians down to 0-0 at half-time. Right, the first course of action, as always, the national anthems of the two teams, beginning with the 5 times champions, Germany. The senior teams of these two countries have a wide gulf between themselves in terms of their FIH ranking. Germany are currently top of the rankings, and Egypt are on 22nd spot. And even at junior level, just to underscore the fact that Germany have been so outstanding in 9 previous Junior World Cups that only once in 2005 did they fail to finish outside the top 3. Whereas for Egypt, their best performance in recent years, 12th in 2005 and 14th in 2009. Nevertheless, it's the game on the day. For Germany, some of the names to watch are for Christopher Ruhr, number 17. He's been absolutely outstanding. 4 goals for him thus far in this Hero Junior World Cup. And goals as well for Alexander Shkolkov, number 7. Number 4, Lucas Windfeder. And there's also one for Nicholas Bruns, number 23, who's currently in the substitutes bench. Their coach at a 30, one of the youngest, possibly the youngest in the field, Andre Henning. And he's had a good performance, turnaround from the first match where they lost 3-1 to Belgium, to come back and beat Pakistan 6-1 in their second match. For Egypt, their outstanding performers, Wael Nuruddin has been quite good in goal, number 1. And the 2 goals for them, which came in their first match against Pakistan, came from numbers 12, Mohammad Raghav, and the skipper, Ahmed Mohsen, who's been quite an inspirational figure, number 14. Coached by Ali El Shorbagi. And he would have been pleased with what happened in the first match. But unfortunately, after that, just lost their pace a little bit in their second game. The officials for today, Fernando Gomez from Argentina. And he's joined by one of the finest Indian umpires on the circuit, Javed Sheikh. And the video umpire for this match is Tim Pullman of Australia. So Germany against Egypt, black against white. And joining myself, Divine said, in the commentary box this morning is two-time former India coach, Cedric D'Souza. Good morning, Cedric.
Morning, Divine. Well, it's the minnows against the stalwarts in this game. And you know, but Egypt has shown very well in the last couple of games. They've held Belgium to a goalless draw in the first half, and they played very well against Pakistan, to have just lost by 3 goals to 2, coming back from 2 down to draw level 2-2. So I wouldn't put it past them. They are a team which has a lot of hard running, has individual flair, and I think they're going to play a dogged defense against Germany.
Germany in black, going from left to right, with possession now, and up against them in white, defending their goal on the right are the Pharaohs, Egypt. Just a quick reminder of how things are positioned in this pool. Belgium currently top of the pool with 2 victories from 2, and to play Pakistan next, but still a mathematical possibility for both Germany and Pakistan also to get in at the expense. But what's interesting is, if Germany do win by 4 goals or more in this particular match, then Pakistan must beat Belgium by a margin of 6 goals in the following fixture to go to the quarterfinals at the expense of the Belgians. So not entirely impossible, but is a Herculean task ahead of the Pakistanis. Mustafa Mansour down the left flank. Egypt, like Cedric mentioned, made bright starts in both their matches previously against Pakistan as well as Belgium. And the same could be said of Germany in their previous matches. Got off to an explosive start against Belgium, couldn't quite sustain it, but certainly did capitalize on how they began against Pakistan. And here they come on the move, the Germans, coming forward through Jonas Gomol, who's been one of their most impressive performers.
Well, Germany has a kind of a system which is an organized defense, possession in the enemy half, and translating that possession into circle penetrations. And of course, their set plays, the penalty corners are really lethal.
Just got a glimpse of the captain Mohsen, who's also been quite impressive for Egypt. Penalty corner conversion both for him and Raghav against Pakistan, but at the moment it's Germany on the move, coming forward and winning the first penalty corner. And this has been a slight weakness for the Egyptian side. They have conceded a few of these and they have been punished for them. 3 penalty corners scored against them already. Can this be the 4th in this Hero Junior World Cup?
Well, Enrique ran very well inside into the circle. He dodged one person and was going in for a pass to the overlapping left striker, but was brought down in the circle and the penalty corner against him. For Germany.
Well, they've got some tremendous firepower. They've got Windfeder, who can really smack them quite hard. And as shown in the previous match, even Christopher Rohr is not averse to taking the odd shot. And those are the 2 men who will be at the top of the circle. If they go for the near side, then it will be Rohr who will be lining up an opportunity to go for his 5th goal in this competition. He's alongside Windfeder. Now switching. It's Windfeder, and it's a good save in the end. While Nuruddin, just 19 years of age, but has looked very, very mature under the bar, even though his team have conceded as many as 8 goals. And Germany have their first, do they? Yes, they do. Playing this one in, and just for a while it looked like the Egyptian defense lost sight of that ball, and they've been made to pay for it.
Well, a nice cross from the deep down at the baseline, and the Egyptian defender was actually ball watching and not marking properly. And if you look at it, there was a cross ball by Muller and into the goal.
So the last touch coming of Karim Atif. Really unfortunate for Egypt, conceding an own goal inside the first 5 minutes. So it is Germany who, not surprisingly, find themselves ahead. And already a difficult task ahead of the Egyptians, finding themselves 1-0 down thanks to that last-ditch touch coming in from Atif, completely throwing off Nuruddin. That takes the goal count up to 94 for this Hero Junior World Cup. We are into the 21st match, so doing quite well in terms of goal average. One gets the impression now that Germany have scored early, Egypt will have to take care against the floodgates opening up, Cedric.
Well, you know, if you look at what Egypt did in the last 2 matches, they're a very compact team in terms of the defense, and they play on the break, and you know, there's a possibility that it won't be floodgates. Possibility, but you never know in this game.
Is the defender taking a touch of him. Speculative effort.
Well, there was a German striker lurking behind the last defender, and I think that pressure on the defender to trap that ball deflected into his own net.
And we just saw an illustration of that. This ball came in for the Egyptians, but there was nobody at the receiving end of that, so no pressure at all on the German defense. The pass coming in from the skipper, Matthias Müller. He was involved in that attacking play. Hasn't been involved in too many attacks. In fact, he's been rock solid in defense. Both he and Winfeder have looked really solid at the heart of defense. Something you do associate with German teams, and really, Cedric, the way they performed against Pakistan showed us why they are considered one of the favorites and have been so successful in this level of competition.
Well, the penetrative passes that they did against Pakistan and their presence in the circle was incredible, you know, for a team which is #1 in the world, in fact, for the junior level also.
Free hit here for Egypt. Can they make the most of this? Just need to string a little bit of control, a few passes together, some amount of possession, but this time they've given away. Very well done by Rohr. Getting some support, but unable to find him back. Henning Hüttemann. It's the Egyptians who come away with the ball. Atif. It's a tumble which leads to a free hit here for the Egyptians, but still not able to put enough numbers ahead. This is one of them, Reza Ahmed, who's been very, very impressive moving forward. He has won a free hit for his team. Reza Ahmed inside the box, almost getting across to this ball. In fact, closest to it in the end was Mohammad Ramadan. Very close contest.
Well, it took a wicked deflection on top of the circle by one of the German defenders. Has penetrated the entire defense and even beats Skotkov in the as the last marker was marking the diminutive Egyptian striker.
What was good to see on that last replay itself, 3 players are lurking around the box. They need a little bit more of that positivity moving forward. Rami Mohammed, Reza Ahmed and Mohammad Ramadan, all of them in there contesting for that ball, and if they do get it, then there's every chance they can put it away and get Egypt back into this match as a contest. Now a chance for Germany to build from behind. Vital interception effected. Just giving the Egyptians a little bit of time to recover at the back. That's a lovely ball. An easy enough technique by Ruhr to collect it. He's getting into the box. He loves going for it by himself. And in the end, just leaving himself with quite a bit to do. And now it's the Egyptians with a counter-offensive of their own. Need to get this ball moving quickly. That's a superb ball. Just couldn't control it, unfortunately. Ahmad Mahmoud.
Well, a great through ball. A 45-degree angle through ball from the center of the field right towards the right flank. But unfortunately, it was not trapped cleanly.
I tell you what, had he just picked it up cleanly, then that could have been a great opportunity, because the Germans were still falling back. They hadn't as yet moved back from the previous attacking position. So the last couple of minutes just a little brighter from the Egyptians, opening up the German defense on a couple of occasions and using the width of the turf. The champions realize the importance of this match, not only from a perspective of winning, but also winning by a big enough margin to seal their berth in the quarterfinals. As things stands, they already have a very, very good goal difference, including the goal that they've already scored. It's at +8. They shouldn't really be challenged or shouldn't really be bothered about it too much, but actually they've gone up to +4. It's Belgium who are on +7. But yes, that match against Belgium and between Belgium and Pakistan would have a bearing on who goes through to the quarterfinals. Timur Oruz goes all the way back. Matthias Müller to Windfeder. The two men who have a very good understanding of how to build on an attack. Easy way of switching flanks too.
You look at this, the rotation balls that they're playing in the defense. You find the midfield coming up to receive the passes. They offer themselves for the pass, and then they make sure they don't lose the ball in the opposition 25-yard line. That's opposition half. The important thing is that they rotate the ball. They keep on rotating the ball, finding the width of the attack, and then try to penetrate from the wides.
Player rotation also is just as important as much as rotation of the ball. And that's something that Andre Henning is looking to do, getting some new players onto the pitch every now and then, giving some of his hard-working midfielders a rest. Christopher Held wins a free hit for his team. So back with German possession. This will be the biggest challenge here for Egypt, to take the ball away from Germany, because Germany like to play this way, don't they? They like having as much of the ball as possible and making most of it. They move forward in good fashion, but eventually dispossessed by some alert defending. Here they come again. It's Christopher Ruhr who's passed it back. Oh, just at the side. Couldn't quite convert. Was inches away, I would suspect.
Christopher running down the baseline, looks towards the goal and plays the back pass. Ball ricochets off the goal post, and a close shave for Egypt.
Action immediately at the other end. The captain at the center of things, Ahmad Mohsen. This has been a lively start to this match, and it's good to see Egypt taking the attack to their opponents, not bothered about the fact that they are already a goal behind. If anything, that spurred them on into greater action. We have every chance of seeing a good contest in this December sun. Beautiful control down the left flank, retaining possession of the ball, eventually dispossessed. And now a chance, 3 against 3. Slipping it through, but unable to find his captain, Ahmad Mohsen. Needed it a little bit closer to him.
Well, you know, the lead by the captain Mohsin was not enough in terms of his speed work. He started running it a bit too late. If you look at this pass, it was a great pass, but his lead is not, he's not sprinting for that ball. He's just jogging for it. You know, the sprint is required for a lead when you're doing a lead.
They're putting together a few decent moves, the Egyptians, and once they get it right, then at least they will hope to bring Victor Ali, the goalkeeper of Germany, into play. Thus far hasn't had a lot to do. This time the Germans again. Oh, that's close. Still near the goal mouth and just squirts wide. But those were anxious moments. Lots and lots of German shirts in there, and any one of them could have finished this off.
Well, the ball played nicely towards the baseline and the first time deflection towards the penalty spot. But I think what happened was the German striker moved back to receive the ball when there was a man already in position to hit that ball, and then in that confusion the ball was hit out.
Timur Oruz as well as Jonas Gomol both were in great positions, but just that little bit of confusion in terms of their positioning, allowing Egypt to get away with that. Now this time putting a stick in, and that's why the free hit goes Germany's way. Very quickly taken yet again by Oruz. That's a superb pass yet again, picked up by Velen. Mats Grambusch. Will win a long corner for his team. All the way for Shkolkov. On to Muller. Useful hustling from Mohammad Ramadan, joined by Rami Mohammed, and between the two of them they win a free hit for their team. Here comes Raghab.
Well, the players have impressed me for Egypt, Raghab and Sami. They've played Rami, sorry. They played really well. They're not afraid to take the ball to the Germans. You know, take the game to the Germans and go for a 1-versus-1 situation. It just speaks well for these youngsters who are not overawed by a situation playing against the world champions, the previous world champions.
Yes, in many respects, some echoes of how they performed against Pakistan. Even in that match, fell behind by an early goal, but took the attack to the opposition. At one stage, had tied the game at 2 goals apiece, and Pakistan were not breathing easy till they got their 3rd goal. And even after that, it was a pretty tense finish with the Egyptians making a number of raids on the Pakistan goal, but just not able to convert either of them. Egypt moving forward yet again. Mustafa Mansour not able to get past Jonas Gomol, and this time unable to clear that and collect it properly. Walid Ali on the right flank. It's Egypt under a bit of pressure. What they've certainly done is, while they've not had too much of the possession, but they've definitely made Germany go back in their half a few times. And those 2 circle penetrations attribute to how hard they've worked, but yet to get a shot on the German goal. That's why Victor Ali hasn't had anything to do thus far in this first half, halfway through that first half at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. Last day of pool action. There's an off day tomorrow, followed by the quarterfinals on Thursday.
Germany doesn't seem to be playing their usual, you know, effervescent hockey that they normally play. It's just they're going through the motions. They aren't actually penetrating the defense like they normally do against they did against Pakistan. It's quite a lethargic performance, if you ask me, so far.
This is looking better from the Germans though, and the deflection comes in as well. Well, looks like they heard you, because that was beautifully worked from the left flank. The ball came in from Christopher Ruhr, and the final touch coming in from Bruns, who gets his 2nd goal of this Hero Junior World Cup to put Germany 2 ahead.
Nice run down the baseline. Looks for a defense with the flat sticks and lifts the ball slightly over the flat sticks. It was really good, very well done, because he finds that the flat sticks are there and then just deflects the ball by Nicholas Bruns into the net.
It's a good combination play between the two Nicholases. Nicholas Wellen down the left flank, and then the last touch. Very good positional ability from Nicholas Bruns. Finds his second field goal of this Hero Junior World Cup. 19 minutes in, Germany are 2-0 ahead. And if you consider the fact that they were a little fortunate to get the first goal the way they did, this one was a lot more convincing, was a lot more well-intentioned. That's perhaps just the kind of Philippe they needed to now raise their game. Correspondingly, the danger is Egypt might just get a little deflated now, and one would hope that it doesn't affect them too much in terms of their morale. Once again, the team in black moving forward with purpose. Do win a free hit, but they will have to take it from the right position. Christopher Rohr. No goals as yet this afternoon thus far. Oh, not a clean collection from Christopher Held. Just for a little while had his team under pressure, but Shkolkov doing some good teamwork. And now pulling away the skipper, Matthias Müller. On to Moritz Strompertz. This is a lovely collection by Max Grumbusch. He's moved into the box. He's done exceedingly well for himself. Could be the third, just wide.
A great lurking run right through the defense of the Egyptian defense. Gets into the circle and sees that he's not in a position to hit the ball in the goal. Max Grumbusch passes the ball across and is missed by two German players, Jonas Komal as well as Nicholas Wellen.
Wellen with the final touch, but couldn't quite get there. Nicholas Bruns certainly did. Found a goal against Pakistan and has found a goal this afternoon against Egypt. So we are 5 away from the 100 mark in terms of goals. That's a milestone that's quite likely to be achieved today, possibly within the first 2 matches. Ahmad Mohsen unable to breach this German defense, which in the last game showed a little more what it's about. Very compact, very difficult to break down.
Well, it's a trademark of the German team to have a solid defense, composed and well organized, and then this is their hallmark, to keep a very strong and tight defense and then play a great possession hockey in the opposition half.
Indeed, it tells you about the quality of the Belgian team in particular to have put 3 goals past this defense on the opening day. Now, Wellen down the left flank. He has been a very lively presence right through this first half thus far for Germany. Slipped through, but unable to find...
Well, a nice switch from the left to the right. German striker went down to the 25-yard line, finds that he can't hit the ball inside, switches the game down to his left defender and switches the game, who switches in terms right onto the right-hand side, but the ball went just out of the sideline.
In terms of the experience, the international experience that players have, then Germany is one of the best teams in this competition. The average number of caps, Cedric, is 42 for this team. So lots and lots of international exposure that they've had at the highest level, and it's standing them in good stead, especially in a match like this, which can be a potential banana skin if you take your opponent for granted. But Germany thus far have just done enough to get those 2 goals in.
Well, I still feel that they aren't playing up to their true potential, because the amount of misses they've had 2-3 misses which should have been put away, because they're really good in the small pockets in the circle.
What's good to see is Egypt not throwing in the towel. This is another useful move coming in for them. Ramadan finds a foot, and it will be the first penalty corner for the Egyptians. Well done by Ramadan.
A little unlucky for the German defense because he put his stick down, he tried to cover his feet, but the ball bobbed up into his bottom, and that was a penalty corner.
Number 12, Mohammad Raghib. Just got a glimpse of him. He's one of those who likes to go for these shots. The captain is in there as well, Ahmed Mohsen. In fact, both of them have scored 1 goal apiece. In fact, that's been the only mode of scoring for the Egyptians so far. Can they keep up with that record? Certainly with the first half drawing towards a close, they won't mind getting a goal in and putting a little bit of pressure on the champions. The injection will come from Kareem Atif, who was responsible indirectly for the first goal, of course. Shot did come in from the skipper Mohsen, and it will lead to yet another penalty corner. Stinging blow for the man running out, Christopher Held.
Well, penalty corner, ball came in quite fast, the injection came in very fast and gave Mohsen enough time to flick that ball. Unfortunately for him, for the German defender who was running on the first charge, got hit on the knee, and Christopher Held has to go off the pitch. It's quite cut on his knee also.
Germany were thinking about a referral, but they took far too long.
Well, they said that the ball went over the height of the knees. That was what it was, over 18 inches. So they claimed that there was a dangerous play.
Just getting the German defense right, but yet again it will be those two men, Raghib closer to screen and Ahmed Mohsen behind him, just poised over the ball, or rather poised over where the ball might well be. It will be one of those two men. Attempting a variation. It was Mohsen who was looking to find Raghib, but some clever defending, just taking far too long yet again, Cedric.
Well, he tried to play a left-hand side pass, but the ball was just far too slow, and it gave the German second charger enough time to come out and just intercept the ball.
Long corner at the other end, so Germany immediately on the attack. They would want to finish this first half on a high and look to try and give some breathing space between themselves and not only Egypt in this match, but also Pakistan in the next. Remember, if they get 4 goals or more, then they have as good as booked their place in the quarterfinals. So that is one motivation for them to not stop yet, but that's a good long ball. And it took every bit of experience for Lucas Windfeder to try and snuff out that challenge. I know it's 2-0, Cedric, but it's been a pretty well contested first half, partly because, as you mentioned, Germany haven't been at their best, as was shown in the last pass.
Well, they aren't firing on all cylinders. They're still playing, for want of a better word, lethargic hockey. And Egypt has played quite well, in fact, you know. Just playing strong, not giving them enough room, chasing down the balls, tracking the ball well enough, and closing down the spaces. I think the Egyptians have this tremendous amount of speed and endurance, and they're closing down the spaces, not giving Germany the kind of freedom that they normally get.
It's been the story of this Hero Junior World Cup for the Egyptians. Still smarting from that blow, Christopher Held, as he came out to defend the penalty corner just a while ago. And the challenge for Egypt, and also part of their learning curve, will be to try and finish the 70 minutes just as they do the first 35. In their first 35, they look quite good. But in the second 35, just a little bit of tiredness creeps in, a few more mistakes happen. And that's when they tend to concede a lot more goals. The format of this Hero Junior World Cup is such that there's something at stake for everybody, even if they're out of the reckoning for the qualifiers, for the quarterfinals rather. They'll still be in with a chance of playing for placements. So something at stake in each and every match, and each and every goal that is scored. Oh, that's nearly given away, and it's a very dangerous man to give the ball away to. But Christopher Roure can't quite take advantage of it. Once again, Egypt with the ball falling away, but getting the pass going, that's what counts a bit more. Islam, Abdul Rahman Qasim wins possession for his team. This is Raghab, one of those with a little more experience than the others. Was trying to weave his way through. Oh, that's a good interception, but it's fallen to German possession. Can they make the most of it now? This is Max Capon. All the way back to Linnekogel. Ruhr has an outstanding sense of positioning. Still with Germany. Spolkov. Winfeder cannot quite trap it. Will he be put under pressure? It's a good game run coming in from Islam. And even though he does wind up fouling and getting a card, but he's putting in a lot of hard work here, Islam.
Well, you know, it's exactly what the Egyptians do. They press you and they close you down as fast as possible, not giving you enough time to have a free hit or a free pass. They just push you to make mistakes.
Just a few lapses in recent times by the Germans. There was a lapse from Tariq Islam, but he's been quite outstanding for his team, working very hard. But the last few occasions, a few defenders have not been able to trap it as well as they would like. This time, though, they are on the offensive, moving forward, looking good as they always do. Long corner, unable to quite bring that under his control. Hutterman. Mullah. We were talking about Mullahs the other day, Cedric, and I think the name you had in mind, Maximilian Muller.
Well, he's the national captain of the German team, and absolute one of the best defenders in the world today, if not the best defender. Absolute class act, never gets ruffled.
And certainly that's something about the top teams that probably separates the really good teams from the fairly good ones. It's the temperament to go with the skills. That's somewhere where these young German players have looked quite confident. Netherlands, Australia, another two teams to point out. The home side, India themselves, have a good crucial encounter today against Korea, but have shown a lot of heart in their two matches thus far. Lost out 2-3 to Netherlands and were outplayed for a large part of their match against Canada, but eventually ran out 3-2 winners.
Well, India has a very strong lineup. You know, they have almost the entire team has played for the national side and have been exposed with the seniors. So from an experience point of view, they're really a very, very close-knit unit, and I backed them today to beat Korea.
That is, of course, the fourth game of the day. This is the first one, and Germany are looking to get a third in, but this ball will not be kept in play by Hutterman. Just giving Egypt a little bit of breathing space. They'll be quite pleased if they can take a two-goal cushion, or rather a two-goal deficit to the half-time interval, considering that only one of those was cleanly struck by the Germans. The other one was just an inadvertent error in defense. And the possession stats now a little bit more in favor of Egypt. A reflection of the last 10 minutes, which have been a lot more positive. Still, not surprisingly, more circle penetrations and more shots for Germany. Oh, this is beautifully done. Such easy control for Nishka. Nuruddin comes out and does very well. Now a chance for Egypt. Critical tackle coming in from Capon. Loses his stick, but just about does the job in the process, getting the ball away from Egyptian possession. Into the last 2 minutes now. Capon, Grambush, Linnekogel. Nishka. Max Capon once again. No way through for Egypt, or rather through the Egyptian defense, who are defending in good numbers at the moment. Mats Grambusch lost the ball for a little while, but then recovered quickly. However, unable to bring it completely under his control, and eventually Egypt delaying the pressure built up on them. Once again moving forward well, while Nuruddin has effected a good save, and second time he's come out, put his body on the line and done exceedingly well to make sure that Nicholas Bruns doesn't add to his goal tally for the day.
Well, the ball comes loose to Nicholas Bruns. He takes a shot at goal. And Nuruddin makes a great save, but the ball bounced back to Nicholas Bruns, and he tried to flick it over the goalkeeper, but Nuruddin did brilliantly well to close out the space, and the ball has gone over the bar.
He's got a lovely shock of curly hair under that helmet of his, while Nuruddin sometimes gives him the impression of, or the appearance rather, of a confused college kid. But he does know what he's doing out there. Has been a very, very good presence under the bar for Egypt. And I say that in spite of the fact that they have conceded those 10 goals in this competition. There he is, doing a good job yet again. And that will be the end of this first 35 minutes. While Nuruddin just thanking the turf for what has been a good performance by him. And Germany, in spite of that good performance, are leading by 2-0. The first one was an own goal. Took a deflection of Karim Atif. The shot was sent in by Matthias Muller, the skipper. And Christopher Rohr hasn't scored today, but Nicholas Bruns certainly did. That was in the 19th minute. But since then, Egypt have created a few half chances and even had a few penalty corner attempts, which haven't really given any fruit. But there's every chance that they can come back into this as a contest. Germany at the moment looking pretty, and their fans are also sitting pretty and very, very happy with what has happened in the first 35 minutes at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. So still some sting in the tail, one would suspect, in the second 35 minutes, because after the first half, it's Germany 2, Egypt 0. Yes, Rupert. Hi, Rupert. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. At halftime at the Hero Junior World Cup Pool A clash between Germany and Egypt, it's the champions who are leading by 2-0. One own goal in the 4th minute and one strike from Nicholas Bruns. Thus far, the difference between the two sides. But it's been a pretty game effort from the Egyptians as well, although it was the brighter start for the Germans. This was the skipper, Matthias Müller, down the left flank, and what looked like an innocuous looking ball. And it was just that little touch coming in right at the end from Karim Atif, which threw off while Nuruddin. There's that deflection. Nuruddin just a little too slow to react, but very annoyed with himself. Germany kept the pressure going. Ruhr turned this one back, and just hitting pretty much the post was Philipp Huber, who was following on from behind him. And the first few minutes pretty much belonging to the Germans. This was another very, very useful looking attack. Coming in from the left, Nicolas Wellen doing well. And then Nicholas Bruns putting the final touches. Quite unmarked and taking full advantage of that. Once Nicolas Wellen did well enough to get this through the defense, it was just an easy tap in. No chance at all for Wael Nuruddin. Germany kept the pressure going and had the better of chances, it must be said, in this entire first half. This was an outstanding bit of goalkeeping from Wael Nuruddin, preventing Nicholas Bruns from adding a second for this match. Germany, not surprisingly, lording over the numbers. 61% possession in opposition half, 5 shots to 0 against Egypt, and 11 circle penetrations to 3, but the most important numbers right on top, 2 goals against 0. Of course, we are in the Hero Junior World Cup, and just to recap on what all has transpired already, these are the groups which have already had games. All their games over. Pool B, Australia and France have qualified as the top 2 teams. So a team from Australia will be taking on the team which finishes second in the current Pool A, and France will be taking on the Pool A toppers. Pool D was also decided yesterday in rather dramatic fashion, especially the last game that was played. New Zealand stealing a 1-0 victory over South Africa, and thus shading them out by just 1 point. Malaysia coming out on top thanks to an outstanding performance across their 3 matches. And England, in spite of playing some good hockey, have been made to repent their missed chances right through, with just 1 point to show for their 3 matches. Pool C, which will be in action later on tonight. Netherlands have already made it through. And Korea and India, it's a virtual pre-quarterfinal when they take each other on at 8 p.m. tonight. Will be a huge, huge game, and we are also expecting a good attendance for that particular fixture, even though it is a Tuesday evening, but there's a lot of thrill and excitement around the sport of hockey, and particularly the Indian national team at whatever level. We are in Pool A at the moment. Belgium are in pole position and look like favorites to go through, because not only do they have those 6 points, they also have a positive 7 goal difference. Germany at the moment have boosted that as we speak live to +5, and they are also looking like they could be favorites to move up to 6 points. And that will make the Belgium-Pakistan match an unlikely one for Pakistan to have a chance, outside chance of qualifying. But it could still happen, you never know. That is the next game of the day. The Germans have some support, and that's always good to see. The support for all teams, Cedric, right through this World Cup has been quite outstanding.
Well, you know, every team comes into India to with the supporters to enjoy India as much as possible, and to enjoy the good hockey that is on the pitch also. India has so much to offer in terms of culture, in terms of visual delight, in terms of exquisite cuisine. So you get the foreigners coming in here enjoying our country.
In fact, I must say I really do envy all of you people associated with the hockey world. I suppose I can count myself among those, because you all seem to play in such exotic places, some of the best places in the world, isn't it?
Very true. You know, you get from the north, south, east, west of the world, all the parts of the world, you get hockey played in every nook and corner of the world, and you get the opportunity to see people, you get to know different people, and of course to sightsee in the exotic places of the world.
Yes, a lot of people would pay good money to go to the places where the world of hockey does organize most of its events in. One such place is Egypt, and well, the Pharaohs will have to show a little bit of characteristic resolve and grit in these next 35 minutes. Yet to get a point in this Hero Junior World Cup, but what they'll definitely look to do is try and get at least a goal in and make this a little bit more exciting as a contest. This time around for the second half, it's Egypt who are in white, and up against them in black are Germany, going from right to left. And a strange sort of a start. Germany just scooping the ball in and allowing Egypt to have possession.
Well, I think that's a tactical ploy. They want to put a full court press on them immediately. So they threw the ball into the Egyptian half, into the Egyptian baseline, and then put pressure on them on the free hit.
One thing's for sure, what they do want to do is try and pump in a few early goals. Remember, need to score 4 or more. Here's possibly the first of those. Oh, that's a tremendous save just off the goal line. Mustafa Mansoor doing well to follow up from the good job of his goalkeeper, Wael Nuruddin.
A great save by the keeper. A beautiful pass a string of passes by the Germans. If you look at a nice penetrative pass in the beginning, and a small 1-2. And a hit at goal, great save by the keeper. Nuruddin, great save actually. And the ball trickled back, and nobody dared to tap the ball inside.
And now a penalty corner, good work done again by Christopher Ruhr. So Germany coming out all guns blazing in the second half and creating those half chances. Moritz Trumpertz was denied earlier by Wael Nuruddin, but now that it is a PC, it will bring some of the other big guns into play. Discussing their strategy for this one.
Well, again, Germany coming down to the baseline and not finding a foot, but a deliberate, well, it was a stick check in the circle, and that was a penalty corner for Germany. But I think that if you look at the goal they've scored also from the baseline, and most of the time they have a great vision when they come on the baseline, because they play the ball back into the penalty spot, or they play a minus pass, or they play find a foot, or a dink over the stick and a shot at goal.
The two men at the top of the circle, on the left, Winfeder, and to his right, Christopher Ruhr. It is Winfeder who goes for it, and results in yet another penalty corner, with the first man charging at the ball.
And a good charge out. Far too much time by Winfeder.
Three of the 4 defenders to the left of the goalkeeper from where we are seeing. So he's covering his right corner, expecting the shot to come there. That's exactly where Winfeder hits it, but just hits it wide.
Well, I think they were looking for an inside deflection. If you look at number 22, he's actually got a stick down for an inside deflection, but the goalkeeper covered the angle well, and the ball was just far out of his reach.
Good technique from both the attacking as well as the defensive team. Now this is another opportunity, and it's just taken a deflection away from one of the Egyptian defensive sticks. Jonas Gomol again making a pain of himself.
Well, again the ball switched from right to left, and a great ball looking for a deflection, but the Egyptian stick down flat and goes over the sideline.
They've really come out at a pace of 1,000,000 miles an hour in the second half, haven't they? Germany showing the resolve of a champion. We talked about the fact that in the first half, on occasions, they didn't quite look completely switched on, but certainly it does look like Andre Henning has had a few good words of inspiration to them.
But the German team has also come with a national coach, Marcus Weiser, here. So I can just imagine what was going on in the dressing room just now. Probably a real dressing down by the coaches.
You work with a lot of young players yourself as well, Cedric. What is the key to tackling them? Sometimes I'm sure it is better to treat them with not so much kid gloves, I suppose, but with a little bit of sensitivity.
Well, it's a blend of both sensitivity as well as a bit of kick in the pants sometimes, you know.
So a combination of good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
Well, Egypt will be quite glad as long as the ball doesn't get into their side of the pitch. As soon as I say that, it does. They get the ball away. They've shown some good heart right through this competition. Yet to win a point, and haven't scored any more than those 2 goals that they got against Pakistan. Oh, this time a deflection, but for the very first time, Victor Ali is forced into action just to kick the ball away. He'll be a pretty pleased man with the scoreline, certainly, and with the way that his team have come out in the second half. As with every good team, you always get the impression with this German team that there will be goals around the corner for them, provided they stay patient and keep working away. Some very useful string of passes. It's been nicely received. It's hit the foot of the attacking player, Christopher Ruhr. Annoyed with himself because that was a golden opportunity for him to get his first of the evening.
Very uncharacteristic of the Germans. They are so good in this 5-yard box between the goalkeeper and the 5-yard box. It's incredible missing. In fact, they missed a couple in the first half. They missed a couple in the second half here.
What's more, had he actually stepped out of the way of that ball, Jonas Gomol was in perfect position to just tap the ball in at the near corner. Now this is a useful solo run coming in from Walid Ali. Pressure being exerted by the Egyptians, but just not being able to sustain it long enough on a few occasions. And that's allowing Germany to get away. And once they do get possession, they always make it count, or at least count for pressure. They've not been able to translate it into goals. Now this is Linnekogel, another one of their impressive performances coming in from Linnekogel. Useful pass, Nuruddin as well, but he's off his line now. That's an easy tap in, and it's Christopher Ruhr who gets goal number 5 in this Hero Junior World Cup. Easiest of finishes, and a well-deserved hug for Linnekogel because he worked really hard to create this goal for his team.
A fantastic run by Linnekogel. It comes into the brings it actually for at least 20 meters, you know, and comes into and plays the ball wide. Okay, the goalkeeper comes out, finds an open cage, and play to Christopher Ruhr, who just slips it into the goal.
And the spirit in this team also good to see. Knows exactly that that goal did belong as much to Linnekogel as to Ruhr himself. So they've got across to 3-0. If they win by 4 goals, then they will join Belgium also in terms of the goal difference. And from then on, they will be pretty much safe in terms of their position in the quarterfinals. For Germany, really a victory is all that they need in many respects, because even if Pakistan do win, they will have to win by a substantial margin to edge out Belgium, and that will automatically take Germany through. So victory is all that they're after, and that's what they are looking like they're headed towards. A pretty convincing one today. How many more can they pump in today? This is another good move. Oh, just across the face of goal. A few faces and sticks who were waiting for that. Luckily for Egypt, the last touch just didn't come in.
But what Germany is doing is that they get the ball in the circle. They know that goalkeeper Nuruddin is coming out, so they're playing the ball away from him for a deflection ball in the goal.
And how well it worked for them when they got that goal. And since then, it just seems like it's all Germany at the moment. Creating plenty of opportunities, and the forwards having a field day.
Well, if you look at that, you know, the goalkeepers come out to close down the angle, and what they're doing is they're playing it past his left foot for a deflection ball. But the Egyptian defense doing well enough to catch man-to-man in the circle, so it's not so easy for the Germans.
Just a confirmation that there's been a green card for Mats Grönbusch. Egypt have just not been able to do much in the second half thus far. into the 10-minute mark of this period of 35 minutes. Skipper Matthias Muller getting some support from Winfeder. Christopher Ruhr finding his first goal of this afternoon. Very well done again by Linnekogel, and a good minus pass coming in from Hutterman as well.
Well, you know what Christopher Ruhr does, he moved inside and took 2 steps back and caught the defense completely napping. If you look at him, he comes back for the ball played bang on his forehand, and without even looking up at the goal, he just pushes into the empty goal.
Well, there might be more opportunities for them, but this time just playing it onto his own foot, unfortunately. 5 goals for Ruhr, and also showing signs of being a good young player. The last time he was admonishing himself for just allowing the ball to hit his foot when he should have either finished it off or really stepped out of the way. And this time he made sure that there was no mistake. This was a slightly brighter movement from the Egyptians, but could not keep it in play. The Belgians will be playing their next game against Pakistan. Some great friendships, I'm sure, also being forged along the way. Lots of mutual respect between the teams. And so good for young players to experience that at this level, isn't it?
Well, I think at all levels of hockey, in terms of juniors or seniors, there's this healthy mutual respect for each other. What happens on the pitch is another issue, but off the pitch is just the you know, you tend to make friends when you meet teams all over the world.
Germany once again looking to move forward. Tempted to ask you, Cedric, do coaches also suffer from that white line fever, as they call it? Do they also have split personalities in a way?
I hope not. But you know, you got to play this good cop, bad cop with most teams, with all your teams basically that you coach.
Yes, as they say in sport, really, management in team sport is all about man management as much about anything else. Because in a team of 11 individuals, that's exactly what it is. 11 individuals with different characteristics, different personalities.
Exactly. It's exactly what how you manage a team, which is very important, you know, in coaching. Man management, motivation, getting the best out of your team, and at times giving a kick when the kick is required.
Germany have definitely managed themselves very well in the second half. Little over 13 minutes gone in it, and they have had a number of forays into the Egyptian territory. Once again doing that. Only 1 goal to show for it for this man, who's waiting to rejoin the action. Quite comfortably poised at the moment. Well, getting into a dangerous position yet again, but just getting a bit high. That's why Egyptian defense earns a reprieve.
So the deflection coming in was dangerous. So, as I said, danger is only to the opposition. Danger is never to your own player. This is a rule which this has to be specified to our viewers. When the ball rises in the circle or rises anywhere, as long as it becomes dangerous when the ball goes to the opposition and not to your own player.
Perfectly explained there why that touch from Timur Uruz was deemed to be dangerous, because it was heading towards the number 20 Walid Ali, defending for Egypt. Egypt could do with a little bit of inspiration at this stage. Rough tackle, earning one of the German players a card. And they make advantage of that temporary man advantage that they have. This is the skipper, Mohsen. Not being able to involve himself in too much of the action in the second half, but here's a good spell of play for the Africans. On the left, useful run coming in, but thwarted by the defense. Al-Ghanani, just 17 years of age, so that's what it's about really for the Egyptians. Exposure for some of these younger players. got a number of teenagers in their squad. And it will be an invaluable experience for them. Timur Oruz has been very good today for Germany, but at the moment is out of action.
Well, I think the Egyptians took a leaf of the Germans' book just now, playing the ball from the deep in the left pocket all the way back to the 50-yard line and trying to switch the game. Good stuff by the youngsters of Egypt.
Yes, Al-Ghanani, number 21, is just 17 years of age. Number 22, Qasim, is just 18. And at the moment, they are in a little bit of pressure with the defense. Christopher Roer, as always, a constant pain in the neck for the opposition, this time winning a penalty corner for his team.
Well, a great run by Christopher Roer. Actually, the ball was played down the flank on the right-hand side. Great run coming down to the baseline, coming towards the baseline, and a harsh tackle in the 25-yard line, which is a clean penalty corner. It's fortunate it wasn't in the circle. It could have been more dangerous for a penalty stroke if Casey had done that. You know?
That error coming in from the man who was also, in a way, responsible for the first goal, Karim. Germany have yet to convert any of their chances today from the penalty corner route, and this is their chance if they can get their number 4. Christopher Roer and Nicholas Winfeder evidently wanting a change in terms of the person stopping the ball. It's Roer in the end. Follow-up is in, and it's as easy as anything. Comfortably done in the end by the skipper Matthias Müller. And Germany have their 4th. They are well on their way to the quarterfinals.
Well, a routine which is well done. It was not a powerful flick. Actually waiting for the keeper to fall, and a rebound of an ensuing rebound neatly tapped in by Matthias Müller. Goalkeeper actually didn't have to fall for that penalty corner. Probably thought the ball was too angular, but it actually came close to his pad, and he deflected it onto the path of Müller, who just flicked it into the goal.
The intent from the champions has been magnificent in the second half, and they have been duly rewarded already on 2 occasions now. The latest coming in from Matthias Müller. So now 4-0 ahead. And looking like they will resign Egypt to the final spot in this Pool A. Still a match to go though. Belgium against Pakistan next.
But Egypt is still trying, you know, although they're 4 goals down. This is what this day showed us against Pakistan too. They kept on at it, kept at it, and they scored 2 goals. They're already 4 goals down here. Let's go back to the penalty corner. A save by the keeper, but came in the path of Müller, who had nothing to do but just flick it into the goal.
His first goal, but his performance has been more substantial as a defender. Really looked solid at the back. And then moving forward, also been an inspirational presence. Remember, also had a hand in the first goal. So capping off what has been a good evening thus far for him. Not so much for Ali El Shorbagi. He'll be happy with the effort from his boys. To be trailing 2-0 at halftime, conceding 2 early goals, relatively early goals in the second half, but still fighting on, still scrapping on for every bit that they've got. Mohammad Raghab getting some support, and this is a penalty corner for the Egyptians. Can they make the most of it? Was a useful run and was nicely done by Abdul Rahman Qasim once he realized that he had run into a very acute angle.
What he did was basically lifted the ball slightly over the stick and then found a foot very easily. Good thinking, good vision, and good presence of mind.
The Germans broke their duck of the previous penalty corner that they had. Can Egypt follow suit? It'll definitely do their confidence a world of good. Those 2 men again at the top of the box. Closer to us, Ahmed Mohsen. And Mohammad Raghab goes for the shot and just hits it wide.
We look at the penalty corner. He's looking for the second bar and actually looking for a deflection, but the player was far too deep. It should have been, it should have been more inwards, and he would have got the ball on the stick. But I think the goalkeeper had already covered up the angle well enough by lunging dive.
And what's impressive, Cedric, is you've mentioned it a couple of times already. Egypt have, to use your words, taken a leaf out of the German book on a few occasions. They've learned a few tricks along the way in this match, and that's part of the learning curve for a young player, isn't it?
Very true. They came in with nothing to lose. The coach has made a statement that they're a very young side. They're looking at just exposure, and they've done exactly that. And to cap it all, they've learned a lot over the last few days.
Being as they are in Pool A, they will face their first crossover match against the team which has finished third rather in Pool B. At the moment, some defending to do, going straight onto the foot, but also deemed as a high ball. Looking to refer it.
So basically a great 1-2 pass.
Okay. Tim, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Fernando.
Okay, Tim. High blow, danger ball. Okay? And Germany want to ask about penalty corner. Can you check?
Okay, I'll check for whether it's a dangerous ball or not.
Thank you.
Your first impression, Cedric?
Well, it's a goal-bound shot, and I think it's a penalty corner for me. What the umpire is basically saying is within 5 meters, so 5 yards, so that's why he's blowing, give it against the Germans. Touch and go.
Need another look at this. So some thinking to do here.
Fernando, I have a decision for you.
Yes?
I think it's just a question of whether it is 5 meters or not.
To Germany, the ball was not dangerous, and it was a shot at goal.
Okay.
It's a goal-bound ball basically going into the goal, and it's a penalty stroke.
So that is an outstanding result from the German perspective and a good referral taken, because they not only retain the right to refer further, but now this is a golden opportunity to add another goal. Christopher Ruhr is going to go up and try and find goal number 5 for Germany today. It'll also be his 6th if he converts. And an easy conversion. While Nuruddin had committed himself a little bit too early, and that's what Ruhr took complete advantage of, and a comfortable enough put away.
A beautiful stroke, right in the deep corner of the left-hand corner of the goalkeeper. Incredible stroke.
That is now goal number 98 of this Hero Junior World Cup. Can we reach number 100 within this match itself? There's still time for it. And Egypt, full credit to them, haven't at any stage given up. They will not die wondering. They'll keep fighting away. Germany on the day just proving to be far superior in terms of every skill that one can think of. A slightly slow start from them in the first half. A little bit lucky with their first goal. But the second half has been a typical German performance. Well drilled. And if anything, they've missed out on a few opportunities. The scoreline could have been a bit more one-sided, but for some chances missed and some good goalkeeping on a few occasions by Wael Nuruddin.
I think the lack of communication in front of the keeper was when they missed a couple of chances there. Like Christopher could have easily have left the ball for one of his strikers who was, it hit his foot in his anxiousness to score a goal. So basically, I feel that in the last 5 meters, they haven't been as sharp as they have been in the last previous game.
Now moving forward again in good numbers. That's a lovely pass. It's well rounded off the keeper, but how did he miss? Henning Huttermann perhaps just wasn't looking up and hence didn't know where the goal was.
I think he was too casual, if you ask me. He had already cut the goalkeeper and he knew there was a ball. You know, it was easy. All he had to do was lift his head up and see where the goal was. He just pushed the ball out.
What they've done already by pumping in 5 goals is they've improved their goal difference considerably. As we speak, they are now 1 ahead of Belgium in terms of goal difference, up to +8. So what that means is if Belgium do go down even by a goal to Pakistan, then Germany will finish top of Pool A. And in their quarterfinal, they'll be taking on the team from Pool B, the second team from Pool B. Much of their performances have been down to this man, Christopher Ruhr, who's been absolutely splendid in the 2 games in which we have seen him. Also got the only goal against Belgium, 3 against Pakistan and 2 tonight. This afternoon, really, one should say. I suppose it depends on where you're watching from. And now giving Wael Nuruddin a rest. Ahmed Adil gets his first go of this Hero Junior World Cup. Again, emphasizing the factor of giving a youngster a good go. Another one who's 17 years of age, Ahmed Adil. Well worked. But just cannot find the right reward for their work on this occasion, the Germans. So if Belgium do go down even by a solitary goal to Pakistan, then it's a quarter-final clash against France as opposed to Australia. So that could also be critical in the context of future performances in this Hero Junior World Cup. Mind you, France have looked very good too. So going forward, the quarterfinals in particular, some lip-smacking encounters expected. 5 spots pretty much sealed up, 3 more up for grabs. Looks like Germany will get the 6th of those 8 spots for the quarterfinals. Now this is nicely taken by Capon. Well defended though. The numbers will be in favor of Germany by all accounts. Egypt doing quite well to have as much of that possession as possible, but both in terms of circle penetrations as well as shots. It's been one-way traffic. In fact, Egypt with just that 1 shot on goal, which was the only time when Victor Ali was actually brought into action today. So it's been a lazy day for the goalkeeper. Really hasn't had to bother much. There he is. Might have to put in a few extra hours of practice. But here come Germany yet again. This time looking to put the young substitute goalkeeper under pressure, but unable to capitalize on that. But what was noticeable was there were 5 German shirts within breathing distance of the goalkeeper, putting lots of pressure. This is looking promising for Egypt. That's a beautiful solo effort, and they've got into a great position too. Can they finish this off? They have found a penalty corner for their efforts, and it was an outstanding run from El Ghanani, which led to this opportunity being created. Germany want to refer it though, and we will just listen in on what exactly is the question.
can you hear me?
I can hear you, Travis.
I gave a penalty corner for the ball under the goalkeeper obstruction. The German team says the ball was playable. Can you check me?
Okay.
How many? 3 seconds.
David, I have a decision for you. Please. There is no clear reason to change your decision. Penalty corner. Germany lose their referral.
Thank you.
So Javed Sheikh's decision stands and Germany lose their referral. Although when you're 5-0 ahead and there's just about 9 minutes left on the clock, won't be too bothered about that. More importantly, this is a chance now for Egypt to get that one goal for the afternoon and reward what has been a good industrious performance from them. No goals as yet from the penalty corner route for the Egyptians. 3 of them, in fact, missed by them. But it does look we're trying a little bit of a different strategy for this. No Mohammad Raghib for this, so Ahmed Mohsen probably the only man who will be going up for it. Will be stopped at the top of the circle by Mustafa Mansour. And just behind, a little bit away behind the captain is the number 5, Islam. Are we going to witness goal number 99 of the Hero Junior World Cup? Very feeble shot in the end from Ahmed Mohsen. And action at the other end immediately. Oh, a crucial touch coming in and just diverting that away, out of harm's way. Have been under the pump for the majority of the second half, but as was shown in that penalty corner attempt as well, have some players of good individual skill, and perhaps it will be just reward for them if they can go away with the goal. But here they have to defend yet again. Oh, well stretched and well saved by Adil. Winfeder once again feeding one of his forward-going men, and a good muscular performance to try and keep possession of the ball, but eventually dispossessed. Here come Egypt. Lots of goalmouth action around here, Cedric.
Yes, you know, again the keeper doing well to stretch his leg and save that ball from going inside, because it was a Germany has come out with a fantastic counter attack and a great deflection also by the defense. You know, to stop that ball from going to the far side for a deflection side. The important thing to understand is that Egyptians are still trying their best to try and get to curtail the score as well as to try and get a goal.
Yes, if they can get one, then that'll do their confidence a world of good. They will finish bottom of the pool in Pool A, and their first crossover match will be against the team that was placed 4th in Pool D. And I can tell you that team is England. So England versus Egypt won't be an easy task, but they'll take a lot of heart out of their performances in their pool matches, the Egyptians. And even if they do go on to lose that, they'll still get a chance at finishing 15th, should that happen, by facing one of the other 2 teams which are going to finish 4th in their respective pools. This bit of defending.
Well, you know, the first charger holds onto the stick to angle his body towards, like a sprinter, basically moving forward. That's why he holds onto the stick and puts his body over the line.
So almost using it like a starting block, and some real clever intricacies which a lot of teams employ, and that's why we have the expert in the box to try and explain what those are all about. Egypt moving forward yet again, and El Ghanani has been really good At the moment, there's an injury for one of the German players down on the ground, writhing in pain. Sholkov. Looked like he bore the full brunt of that attempt coming in from Egypt.
Well, he was on the oh my God, that was actually on the follow through. Hit him on his face.
Good to see he's all right, and the action has restarted with Egypt with a chance. Yet again, Al Ghanani is right in there. Still with Egyptian possession. Well saved by Ali. And eventually it's El Ghanani who's denied by some alert defending. For a while it was a free-for-all, and it looked like the Egyptians were going to pull away with a goal. But they did well to keep their composure, the German defense rather. And this time the ball has been picked up, but not able to retain after the first touch. Timur Oruz. Last 5 minutes now. Looking to move forward. Rami Mohammed, another man who's impressed you.
Well, there are two players who really impressed me in the Egyptian team, Rami Mohammed as well as Ragab Mohammed. Both these players have had the intention to go one-on-one, had the intention to go for goal whenever they get the ball. They could take the direct route and go towards the circle itself.
This time it's a tremendous run. Oh, that's great individual skills, but just couldn't finish it off. Nicholas Wellen took it on his left and virtually ran through the Egyptian defense like a knife through butter. Here comes Al Ghanani though. Oh, not too far away. He's been another game trier today. Outstanding effort from the 17-year-old.
Well, a great run by Al Ghanani. He gets into the circle, sees the goalkeeper coming on to close him up, and all he does is try to chip the ball over the keeper, but the ball just goes over the post. And very good attempt, good foresight, and good vision.
Number of good individual performances on the day today, Cedric. Would be a tough choice for man of the match.
Well, I think it's been a very scrappy game. It's not been a game which is very fluid. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Matthias Müller will probably get the nod.
Picked up. Oh, yet again, that's a good ball. Could this be the just reward that Egyptians have been looking for? Oh, just unable to get it past the goalkeeper. Did well to actually read his intentions perfectly. Rami Mohammed was looking to line it up on his right, and that just took that extra split second, which was enough for the goalkeeper to recover. Action at the other end. Could this be the sixth? Delaying his shot, and an easy tap in the end. Second goal of the afternoon for Nicholas Bruns, and that was beautifully done by his teammate Line Kogel actually.
A great run by Line Kogel, comes down to the flank, comes down to the baseline, finds that there is no place, plays the ball to Christopher Root, dummies a hit and plays the ball across for an easy tip in by Nicholas Bruns.
It's working so well as a combination. The entire German unit moving forward. And Christopher Ruhr with the final pass. Just an easy tap in for Nicholas Bruns. Second goal today for him. And also takes his overall tally in this Hero Junior World Cup up to 3. So that is goal number 99. With just about 90 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if we'll get goal number 100 yet, but this has been a convincing second half performance, it must be said, from Germany. That wasn't the greatest of examples of that, just not able to trap it.
Well, Divan, I think they haven't played at full pelt today. They've played just at half pace, if you ask me. They haven't played what they're capable of playing, and but still to score 6 goals just tells the depth of the German national team.
Takes their goal difference at the current moment up to +9. So really, that means that the next match between Belgium and Pakistan is a straight shootout for Pakistan. They must beat Belgium by a margin of 6 goals or more to get past Belgium, because Germany are definitely going through now. Been a good, solid performance, especially from the German defense. First match in this Hero Junior World Cup where they will go through without conceding a single goal. But they've had their iffy moments on a few occasions. Can they cap it off with a 7th for the evening? Inside the last 10 seconds now. And Egypt will clear this ball away, but it has been a convincing victory for the champions. Putting the disappointment of the opening match behind them, they have come back and roared like lions that they truly are. Not able to get that, in fact, just about able to get that tennis score line this time around. 6-1 against Pakistan, 6-0 against Egypt. The German machinery is up and running. Altogether, they've scored 13 goals in their 3 matches and conceded just 4. So that tells you a little bit about the quality of this team and why exactly they are rated as the best junior side. So Germany make their place in the quarterfinals of the Hero Junior World Cup thanks to an outstanding performance from their players. Nicholas Bruns with 2 goals, Christopher Ruhr with 2 goals. There was 1 own goal and also 1 penalty corner conversion by skipper Matthias Müller, which gave the 6 goals for the night. Nothing for Egypt today, but a good game performance. But unfortunately, they will finish bottom of Pool A as a result of this final scoreline. Germany 6, Egypt 0. So outstanding performance from Christopher Ruhr to take his goal tally in this Hero Junior World Cup up to 6. Just tells you how dominant they have been. Linnekogel also had a good game. Max Capon with a little bit of a plaster around his left calf, because the conditions have been physically straining for some of these young boys who've had a lot of work to do. But they'll be happy to have performed the job, especially after that opening day defeat at the hands of Belgium. Did make them look like they might have been a little bit uncertain of their position, but they came back well. Beat Pakistan so convincingly in the last match, and then demolishing Egypt today, 6 goals to 0. 5 times champions. In fact, the great thing about them is that all 3 previous editions of this Junior World Cup, when it has been played in Asia, they have proved to be winners. 1982 in Kuala Lumpur, 1989 in Ipoh, and 2009, the last edition, which was co-hosted by Malaysia and Singapore. So the German fans giving a little bit of a reception to their players, some friends and some families. And just a little bit of a lap of honor for them. These are the statistics for this match, and there's only one team which will dominate them as expected in a 6-0 scoreline. No shots on target apart from those 5-0, which was substantial from Egypt. And greater possession for Germany, more than 2 times as many circle penetrations, and also the successful penalty corner conversion by the skipper Matthias Müller. Three cards for both teams, 3 green cards, 2 of them for Germany. So an easy victory for Germany in this particular match. Let's head down to the post-match presentation with Charlie Broom.
Yeah, welcome to the Hero Player of the Match ceremony. I'm delighted to say that the President of the International Hockey Federation, Leandro Negre, has joined me pitchside to make the presentation of the Hero Man of the Match trophy, to Matthias Müller of Germany, the German captain. Matthias, congratulations. Leandro, if you'd like to do the honours. Well, Matthias, very well done. And you got on the score sheet today as well.
Yeah, it was a lucky one. Rebound of a corner, so yeah, I got to do that.
But you've got to be in the right place at the right time. But as a team, you've put that defeat by Belgium behind you. How is the mood in the camp?
The mood was not that good, but we know we can beat Pakistan and we can beat Egypt, so we did our job, and I think we did it very good.
Yeah, and you've scored enough goals now that if Belgium should slip up, you'll be top of the group, but if not, you'll be facing Australia, which would be a very interesting game.
Yeah, for sure. We got a test game against them here. Was a draw 2-2. And yeah, we would love to play against France, but Australia is also a possible game to us.
Well, Matthias, listen, very well done today. Well done on scoring. Congratulations on your hero man of the match.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, celebrations in the German camp, and not surprising considering how convincing they were in this particular match. Came out all guns blazing in the second half, and right from the first minute of it, they were the dominant team. This was a move coming in from Linnekogel, virtually doing everything by himself, getting this ball in. Cut back nicely for Christopher Roer, and that was his first goal for this evening. 7 minutes into the second half, giving them 3-0. And then this penalty corner beautifully worked. Roer was the one who took the shot, but it was an intentionally slower shot, just fooling Wael Nuruddin and allowing Matthias Muller to slip in from the corner post and get his goal in. Then this ball turned back in, and yet again a good finish for the Germans. In fact, this was the penalty stroke which came, and Christopher Roer was quick to capitalize on it. Nicholas Wellen was the previous player who had found an Egyptian defender getting in the way of a goal-bound shot. And this was the finishing touch provided by Nicholas Bruns. Well done by Christopher Roer, shielding the ball nicely and then just turning around and sending it onto the stick of Nicholas Bruns, who did very well. So what does it mean for Pool A? It means that Germany have moved themselves up to 6 points as well, and with a superior goal difference are currently placed ahead of Belgium. So Belgium, all they need is a draw from that particular match against Pakistan, and that will see them top of Pool A. But Pakistan must win that match by a margin of 6 goals in order to get past Belgium. That is the match which is coming up in just a little while, about 20 minutes from now, just a little under 20 minutes, Belgium against Pakistan, a Pool A fixture, and we hope that you will join us for that game.